Hi everyone, Jacob Bestwick and Katie James here to give you an update on the quotas in the East. Um, so we'll be going through the stocks that we usually go through with the graphs that we usually go through. Uh, but just before that, an important note. So we have added some of the IC's provisional IC's advice to the slides, which shows the percentage changes for 2025. This information is in a yellow box on each slide, uh, but the actual quotas are decided during negotiations, which will be later this year, the outcome of which is published in the Secretary of State determination, which we usually receive in late December. So it's just a warning to say the percentage changes on here, that's the scientific advice. The actual determination, when that's published, that might show some slightly different changes. So just for anyone who's not been to an RFG before, I'm just going to run through what the graphs are quickly. So on the left-hand side, we have what we call our master yearly graph. This has a blue bar, an orange bar, and a grey bar. The blue bar is the quota that we initially receive. The orange bar is the quota that we have now, so that might be different where myself or Katie has traded in or out some quota. And then the grey bar, which shows our current uptake. On the right hand side, we have a monthly uptake by year graph. So this has the years across the bottom, and then in the graphs are like little building blocks of different colors. These represent the months. So it allows us to have a look at which months and the seasonality for that stock. So this example is North Sea cod, and for the under 10s, we initially received about 430 tons of quota. We currently have 175 tons in allocation, so we've used a bit of that to trade out to bring in other stocks. The catch limit is currently 4 tons and uptake just under 16 tons for the under 10s. For the over 10s, we have a current allocation of 140 tons. Catch limit is currently 3, and uptake so far this year is sat at just under 40 tons. Advice change is for a 38% cut for this stock next year. So myself and Katie are anticipating that this will take us back to roughly kind of 2021, 2022 allocation levels. The next stock we have here is for North Sea Skates and Rays. So for the under 10s, we received an initial allocation of 174. Current allocation is about 252 with a catch limit of 4 tons and uptake at about 40 tons. In the over 10s, we have a current allocation of 36, a catch limit of 3, and an uptake so far of 3.7 tons. Now, the advice for this stock isn't due until later in the year. That'll be about September, October time that we are expecting to receive that. In terms of looking at our uptake and the seasonality, as you can see on the right-hand graph from the colours of the bars, so we've got the orange, green, blue and purple bars as our biggest kind of jumps each month. That is kind of February to May, and then from that period we kind of see very little uptake. So we're not expecting to see much more than the 40 tons fish so far this year. Next stock we have here is North Sea mackerel. So in the under 10s, we received a initial allocation of 11 tons. Myself and Katie did quite a lot of work to trade in some more of that stock, and we ended up getting up to about 80 tons, with a catch limit of 10 tons and uptake so far 22. In the over 10s, we had an initial allocation of 3.5. The catch limit is currently at 1.5, and we've got an uptake so far of 300 kilos. Again, advice for this stock is due in September, October. And a little look at the right-hand graph shows we've got those really big long building blocks there. So it's May, June and August. So last year we saw a lot of our uptake in May. This year uptake seems to have been a little bit later, so a bit less in May and shifted more Oh, sorry, June is the green one. So it was June, July, and August last year, and this year it's shifted a little bit more towards July and August. Uh, so we've seen that a little bit later in the year this year than we did last year. Um, Here we have North Sea Spur Dog. So this uh, was prohibited until not too long ago. Um, in terms of the UK, we receive a UK allocation of 2,862 tonnes. Uptake is currently 48 tonnes with a catch limit of 5 tonnes. Uptake was 125 tonnes in 2023. And we have regular meetings in place with DEFRA and the DAs to review how Spur Dog is managed. And again, advice for this one is expected to be in September, October. Next stock here is North Sea Sprats. So this quota works a little bit differently. Rather than running annually, so January to December, like all the others, this runs from July to June. So in July 23, we received our allocation, and that takes us up to June of this year. So for that year, we received an allocation of 138. We always trade in a lot of this stock, so we had available 758, and a catch limit was 200 tons per week. This is still the same. And for the over 10s, we received 38. We had 38 available, and the catch limit was 200 tons per week. We have this quota has ended. As I said, that runs from July to June. So we are expecting that the allocations for 24 to 25 should be published soon and will appear in the weekly sheet. So once we do, if anybody is interested, please do get in contact with us and we can send out some information on that once we have received it. I'll include mine and Katie's contact details at the end of the slides. So here we have North Sea Soul. Initially, we received 211 tons in the under 10s. We've traded a few of those tons out, but we've still got 208. The catch limit is currently 5 and uptake 25. In the over 10s, we received 62. The catch limit is currently 6, and we've got an uptake so far of just over 1 ton. The advice change for this is for a 177% increase from next year. And looking at the right-hand graph, we can see that we do see uptake kind of peaking from July, August, and September. So we are aware that there might still be some uptake on that stock to come, but we've still got plenty left in our allocation. The final stock we've got for you here is Herring 4C7D. So for the under 10s, we received a allocation of 784. The current allocation is 916. I think there's an error in the box down there, so apologies for that. The over 10s, we currently have 158 tons. The catch limit for both pools is currently 50 tons. Uptake is sat at 150 tons in the under 10s and 61 tons in the over 10s. Advice change is for a 26% cut next year. This is one that we generally look to trade in anyway. Myself and Katie are aware that there's a few fishers in the area who like to target it, but we're aware it's very seasonal, which we can see on the graph on the right. So generally we get a kind of one season, February, March time, and then occasionally there's been a second fishery window a bit later in the year. So again, that's something that will keep that catch limit up to provide that opportunity for if it does come later this year. So here I have a page of some useful links. So we have a catch limit review that is currently open. Okay, we've got the wrong ones here. We've not got the contact ones. We've got 2 useful links ones.
I will pop it in 2 seconds. It won't take me a minute to bung it
in. Sorry for that error. We've got a slide here for the catch limit review. So we aim to open a catch limit review every month. So currently we have one live now for September. That goes from the middle of each month roughly, and provides opportunity for us to inform you of changes we're looking at making, and gives you a chance to comment on those and provide any information. So yeah, please do get in touch with us. Katie's now added the contact information. So this is our contact information with our phone numbers and email address. We're happy to be contacted however you prefer, really. So email, text, call, WhatsApp is all fine. The email address on here, the Insure Quota Manager one, is a shared mailbox for the two of us. So there's pretty much always one of us around to pick up any emails that are sent there. Thank you very much, everyone, and have a lovely rest of your summer.